It's December 18th, 7 days till Christmas. I should tell you, my family is weird. We don't celebrate Christmas like everyone else. And, to quote my dad, we do not partake in the commercialization of the Christmas season. I mean, we don't have Christmas lights, or decorations, or even a Christmas tree. What we do have is Mrs. Tannenbaum. Mrs. Tannenbaum is a mannequin with a beehive hairdo and a bright green sequined ballroom gown. She's supremely hideous and very much into the Christmas spirit. And we don't buy each other presents. It's not that we don't give each other gifts, it's just that the gift we give cannot cost us anything. There's a lot of pressure in giving a gift that costs nothing, because if the person doesn't like it, it's really terrible. It's not like you can go to the store and exchange it. My little brother asked me and my dad if we were looking forward to Christmas. My dad said, "Yeah, Dane, of course we are. Gonna have a great Christmas this year. Right, Sarah?" And me? I just went right along with it. "Yeah, Dane, the best Christmas ever." And we've both got these stupid smiles on our faces, like real, cheek-hurting, stupid smiles. But it was a big fat lie. Because the truth is, my dad and I both knew this was going to be the worst Christmas ever. This was going to be the first Christmas without my mother. Then my little brother, Dane, asks if I can help him with a present. Dane's gift was for our mother. To tell you the truth, I never really did think about giving my mother a gift. But then I thought, of course, we give the kind of gifts that you can give to someone, even if they aren't here. He tells me that the gift for our mother was for it to snow on Christmas Day. I say, "Sure, Dane, that'll be a great present." Dane is under the misconception that I can control the weather. We have a weather reporting station in our backyard, and I make the monthly reports to Environment Canada. I'm the family's resident meteorologist. I looked at the Environment Canada website, and it is not good news. The 7-day forecast, Waterloo, Wellington, 20% chance of precipitation. It's not that bad because the 7-day forecast is not that accurate. The numbers only matter until 3 days before Christmas. Because anything could happen in 7 days. A high-pressure ridge could change course, and that number could go up to 90% tomorrow. It's possible. The first rule of meteorology: there's no certainty, only probability. I know that. I know that rule. But for some reason, when my little brother asked for it to snow on Christmas Day, I said yes. People complain that the weather woman, or man, always gets it wrong. But the truth is, a meteorologist is never wrong. Because a meteorologist doesn't say, "It will rain." They say, "There's a 95% chance of rain." So, if it rains, they were right. And if it doesn't rain, they said there was a 5% chance of it not raining, so they were right. A meteorologist can never be wrong. unless she's stupid enough to tell her little brother that it will snow on Christmas Day. Snow. I guess I know more about it than most people. The scientific name of snow is crystal aggregate. Some people say that crystal aggregate is a miracle. But there is a simple and beautiful explanation. Evaporation creates clouds, and when the temperature of that cloud is less than -5 degrees Celsius, then sublimation occurs on the vapor nuclei, forming an ice crystal. And when 2 more ice crystals join together, it becomes a crystal aggregate. There are many things that could prevent a crystal aggregate from reaching the ground. But the fact that we get crystal aggregate at all seems like a miracle. It's December 22nd, 3 days till Christmas. For the last 5 days, I've been watching the Weather Network's satellite image of a huge, stable high-pressure system slowly creep into southern Ontario. A stable high-pressure system is like the worst thing that could happen, because a stable high-pressure system means that nothing will happen. The temperature remained consistent, the evaporation rate extremely low, and clear, cold, blue skies. They're calling for -20 and a 0% chance of precipitation. I know I said that meteorologists never say something is definitely going to happen, and a 0% chance of precipitation sounds pretty definite, but meteorologists round off to the nearest whole number, and in this case, the nearest whole number is 0. I want to tell my little brother, but I can't bring myself to tell the truth. For the next 3 days, I won't even bother watching the Weather Network. I don't need to. I know what will happen. There's nothing I can do about it. Dane has been praying for snow for the last week. He wants me to pray too, but I can't. God and I aren't on speaking terms right now. If I did pray and it didn't snow, I don't think I could ever pray again. I don't have an unanswered prayer left in me. It's Christmas morning, 0 hour. I woke up early and even thought I'd know better. I clicked on the Weather Network. They're calling for snow in Texas. We still have clear blue skies. They show pictures of Texans slipping and sliding on the snow. They have our snow. We have their sun. No one was awake. It was just me and Mrs. Tannenbaum. Mrs. Tannenbaum was smiling. And she'll keep smiling the rest of the day, even when we rummage underneath her dress, handing out our gifts that cost nothing at all. Through all these indignities, she will continue to smile. And not that fake smile that my dad and I have been wearing for the last month, but a real, almost saintly smile. And I figured, if she can handle Christmas with a smile, so can I. You know things have gotten pretty bad when a plaster mannequin with a beehive hairdo is your role model. Dad came down with a wrench and a hammer. He didn't see me. He put the wrench on the radiator bolt and started tapping it with the hammer.
years ago, Dad realized that it costs twice as much to keep the house at 20 degrees than it does to keep it at 15 degrees. Ever since then, the house has been at 15 degrees. We've all gotten used to rushing from the bed to the closet, getting dressed in less than 20 seconds. I'm guessing one of Dad's little gifts for the family is to turn up the heat so that we can spend Christmas morning in our pajamas, like normal people. This is our version of a stocking stuffer. He kept tapping, but the bolt wouldn't turn. He kept hammering harder and harder. He gave it one last whack, and the bolt sheared off and smashed through our plate glass living room window. The whole room filled with steam. Dad just stood there watching it. Soon, he was lost in the fog.
Merry Christmas, Sarasota.
My dad has not called me Sarasota in like years.
Good morning, Popsicle!
I haven't called my dad Popsicle since I was 5. We are such great liars.
You'll need your snowsuit.
Thanks. Christmas morning is not going well, and I know it can only get worse.
It's Christmas morning, part 2. I got to the living room. The fog had mostly cleared, and the picture window was covered with plastic sheeting and duct tape. Since plastic sheeting has an R value of like 1, it was absolutely freezing in the house and getting colder. I looked over at Mrs. Tannenbaum. She was covered with a thin coat of frost and looked even more creepy and saintly than ever. I'd like to say that Christmas went wonderfully, but I can only guess, because I wasn't really there. I was playing a character. I was playing a sweet, innocent, 11-year-old girl who loved Christmas. I remember saying things like, "Oh, Dad, that's just what I wanted." And with my big, almost saintly smile, I even said, "This is the best Christmas ever." It was a great act. If someone from the KW Arts Council was there, I would definitely win the Leading Edge Award. So, all the gifts that cost nothing were handed out. All except one. Dane ran over to the window, waiting for the arrival of Mother's present. I looked out with him. Not a cloud in the sky. I wanted to lie to him, but I couldn't. I had been lying for a whole year. I was all lied out. I said that there was no chance at all, 0, and that I was stupid enough to confuse possible with probable, and that I wish that I was a normal person with a normal family and normal presents. Through all of this, Dad and Dane just stood there, watching, saying nothing. And finally, I had ran out of truth. There was a horrible silence. Just before I thought that my family was crazy, Dane smiled. Dad smiled. It's like they didn't hear a word I said. And then a snowflake floated down and landed on our coffee table. And and another. I looked around and realized it was snowing in our house. Big, thick, white snowflakes. I figured out that the radiator had formed a cloud, and that cloud was snowing. It might seem like a miracle, but it's just sublimation occurring on the vapor nuclei, forming a crystal aggregate. That is not a miracle. But there was a miracle that day. For the first time in a whole year, we were all